You mean to tell me we couldn't get front row seats to this event when Mary's organizing the whole thing? I thought she was supposed to be our girl.
Well, you know I'd rather swim in an unparted Red Sea than gossip. But I heard she put nothing but her fellow prostitutes up in front. Talking about the meek shall inherit the earth. Meek where? They got their ankles out. No offense.
I don't think there's anything wrong with showing a little ankle. Some of us have to use our God-given assets to make ends meet.
What ends do you have to make meet? Baby, you live in a cave.
Yeah.
Don't act like you've never slept with some men's to pay your cave rent.
No, why would we do
Why would
that?
we
It's
do that?
literally free.
They're just holes in the side of mountains. You kick the bear out and move in.
Why would you pay for something that God just gave you?
Yes, the one thing we have free in this life.
I thought that was loaves and fishes.
Them too.
Loaves, fishes, cave rent, all
All
free.
free.
Cave
There's
rent
no
is
rent.
not a thing.
Don't you have some tea about the crucifixion? Because I'm done talking about my cave rent.
Yes, speaking of caves, you know I'm third cousins with Pontius Pilate, right? Okay, well, he washed his whole hands of this thing before the crucifixion, so if Jesus resurrects, he gonna look crazy.
Okay, this whole Christchella week has been crazy. First, they put us at the kiddie table at the Last Supper. Who knew it was the Last Supper? I thought I was just going to supper. They told me it was the Last Supper. I would have dressed up.
That part.
Okay, then I'm front row at the crucifixion. I don't know how I'm gonna get those images out of my mind.
Just blood everywhere.
I haven't slept at night since.
Black Lady Sketch Show. A Black Lady Sketch Show. It's finally back in our lives to make it better.
Yeah, I was watching on The Daily Show, you know, the news authority.
The news, yeah.
What's her name? Robin Thede, the
Yes.
creator.
Yeah.
Great interview with Roy Wood Jr. And there is a reason why she has got that job. There's a reason why a Black Lady Sketch Show is the funniest thing out there because, you know, Whitey's had it good for so long. Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah, it's back on Friday on HBO and HBO Max. Meanwhile, this is TV Tan Podcast, episode 0445.
That's right, 445 episodes where you get to listen to us yammer about all things involving TV news, the reviews, and oh yeah, that's right. We're the only podcast in Utah that has sponsors that deliver booze.
Yeah.
So suck on that, all you podcasters out there.
Yeah, this week brought to you by Ogden's Own, right?
That's right. You are having some very tasty Madame Patarini's gin and tonic in a can because that's how fancy as fuck we get. Well,
yeah.
That's how fancy you're getting because you are in the TV Tan studios and the Ogden's Own studios there. Me,
yeah.
I'm just slumming it like a chump here in California with 73-degree weather, and I just got to have this wine here.
Well, after more blizzarding this week, we were recording on Easter Sunday, and it's about 65 outside. Very nice. Sun's out. Snow is melting. Let's get them floods going.
Yep. Oh, and happy Jesus Bunny Day to anyone that celebrates. And yes, technically, Jesus might have been a zombie, or maybe he was a vampire. You know, he's all about drink this blood. And
he was Morbius.
No. Well, Jared Leto is kind of Jesus-y at the moment here. So
it's Morbin time.
A phrase that I hope dies as quickly as Jesus did. Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon?
I think that was kind of slow, actually. All right. So, what else? Any more business before I move along? We got some stuff in the listener mailbag, don't we?
Yes. In fact, you want me to jump to that right now?
Sure, let's do it right now.
Well, that's at our wonderful Twitter page. It's still a thing, by the way. Elon Musk hasn't fucked it up yet. And it comes to us from our Twitter page at TV Tan Podcast from Dr. White. And he writes to us, why do I listen to TV Tan Podcast? For things like this exchange, paraphrasing, and this is how he writes it. He's like, Me, we're having too much fun. Bill Frost, well, let's put the brakes on that. Tommy, hit the music. Spirit Sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team. And no, Tommy, I did not fast forward. He says, turn the volume down lower or take a nap. I may or may not have started cleaning out litter boxes. But he also says, thanks for the XFL scores. What is that sport again? It's technically football in the style of The Rock.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, so new stuff coming up this week. We have a new British comedy import from Daisy May Cooper. It's a
ooh,
British thing called Am I Being Unreasonable? It's on Hulu on Tuesday. And she's a sort of a unhappy housewife with a dark secret who gets a little wasted and tells this dark secret to her new school friend mom.
oh,
And things get weird from there. And
well, how much weirder? Because let's face it, this is a British import, so a
it's
little
very British.
context. Yeah.
It's very British. It's something about uh well someone ended up dead.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Somebody's ended up way dead because of something she did, and only and that's other person now know about it.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
when you say it's weird and it's England, my association is. Did you know the prince married someone who's dark? Isn't that a weird thing? That's the level I expect from England. So thank you for the context. That makes a little more sense here.
Yeah, and coming up on Wednesday, one of my favorites from last year, Single Drunk Female on Freeform and
Yay!
Hulu. Starring Sophia Black Dalia as a New Yorker who basically drunkenly assaults her boss, and then it's like, it's time for you to sober up. We're sending you
Yeah.
back home to Boston and live with mom, who's played by Ali Sheedy. And this is a sober comedy, something we don't know about, but it's very funny.
I don't know what you're referring to. Also, if our lawyer is listening, please tell the judge we're just performance artists, Your Honor.
Yeah. Also,
Secondly,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no. I think that's enough. I better stop while I'm ahead here.
On Wednesday on Disney Plus, something new from Jeremy Renner, R.I.P. It is a new reality series called Renovations.
Oh boy.
It's Jeremy Renner and his pals. They take decommissioned government vehicles and turn them into, they renovate these vehicles and they turn them into like sort of small rec centers for underprivileged communities,
Huh.
and they've turned one into a music studio,
Okay.
and these are all for like poor communities.
Okay. So basically, in this scenario, Jeremy Renner is Exhibit,
Uh huh.
and this is not quite Pimp My Ride,
Pretty
but
close.
uh huh.
Yeah.
And what superstar auto team is going to do these restorations?
I didn't recognize any of the names because I'm not familiar with the auto restoration world, but Anthony Mackie drops by.
Oh, okay. The Falcon
Yeah.
stopped in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Captain America.
Yes.
Apologies.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming up on Thursday. Great title already. Florida Man, new series on Netflix.
Okay.
It's
And
about an ex cop who has to travel back home to Florida. Ugh, it's played by
hmm,
Edgar Ramirez to pay off a debt. He's chasing down a Philly mobster's girlfriend who's run away to Florida, and she's a bit of a handful. And crime comedy wackiness ensues from there. All very Florida.
now Edgar Rodriguez. Where have I
Ramirez.
Ramirez? Excuse me. Where have I heard that name before? What has he done
The last thing
previously?
he did, one of the last things, most recent things he did was that movie, The 355, with
Okay.
Jessica
Okay.
Chastain.
Yeah.
And
Now I
also,
can see it.
yeah,
Mhm.
also in here are Anthony LaPaglia and Clark Gregg from Agents of Shield,
Oh yeah.
and Paul Schneider, or as we better know him as Mark from Parks and Recreation,
Oh really?
the guy who only lasted the first two seasons.
I'm interested in the fact that Clark Gregg is involved. So he
Yeah,
comes back from Tahiti, apparently,
yeah,
which is a
finally,
magical place.
Yeah. Also, the second season of season 4 of Titans on HBO Max on Thursday.
Okay.
It's we're finally getting this over with. The sexy Teen Titans. Friday, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, season 5
Yay.
premiere.
Okay. What we're saying here, number one, this is the final season, and number two, set your closed captioning on permanent.
Yes. And as previously mentioned, also back on Friday, a Black Lady Sketch Show, season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And what else we got? I don't care about that one.
What were you tossing away there?
Well, it's a new Jennifer Garner series on Apple TV Plus. It's based on a book and produced by
Pass.
Reese Witherspoon's company. So who
Yeah,
cares?
double pass. I'm
Here's
tapping out already.
Here's something interesting. Personality Crisis, One Night Only. This is a documentary and a music special starring It's the life and times of David Johansen, brought to you by Martin Scorsese and David Tedeschi.
What's the title again?
Personality Crisis, One Night Only. David Johansen, of course, is
Oh, the lead singer of New York Dolls, and
he's also Buster Poindexter.
that's right. Lest anybody forget.
So we're going to be looking at the history of David Johansen, and also he'll be performing some numbers from Buster Poindexter and also the Dolls.
Yes, and answer any questions you have. No, Arthur Killer Kane will not be doing bass.
I'm pretty sure all of the New York Dolls are dead except David Johansen.
Well, I know for a fact 2 of them are dead. It was Arthur Killer Kane, and then the guitarist fairly recently, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Sylvain.
That's the one. Thank you.
Also, Johnny Thunders died a long time ago.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So maybe the drummer's still alive. I don't remember his name.
Well, nobody cares about the drummer.
Yeah.
So, also, if Mike Walton is listening to this, we love you.
He's not listening.
Well, you never know. So stay golden.
Oh, I know he's not listening. On Saturday, are you ready for some overlapping football?
Do I have a choice?
The USFL season 2.
Okay, that means no, I don't have a choice. So there we go. We're gonna
have the XFL and the USFL both competing for about a dozen viewers.
So basically, I gotta do work again.
Well, I don't know. This isn't really wrestling related, so you could probably skip it.
Well, that's true.
We only do the XFL report because it is wrestling sort of connected.
Well, by The Rock.
Yes.
Excuse me, Black Adam. You know, the greatest show that's almost
the Tooth Fairy.
DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
I can skip it.
And this is the dumbest name for a football team ever: the Memphis Showboats.
Well, here's
sounds like a drag troupe.
Oh, now I want them to. I want to see that just to see how well it's going to play. Oh, wouldn't that be great if it turns out the cheerleaders were drag queens?
Mm-hmm.
How wonderful would that be?
Yeah, we're showboating away. Yeah.
I would just love to see that, just to watch everybody in Tennessee's head explode.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Explodin, awesome. Showboatin. Write that down.
Explodin, Showboating.
Right. On Sunday, season 4, final season, Barry kicks off. Last we left Barry, he'd been sent to jail. He'd been ratted out by Gene, Henry Winkler's character.
Yeah, Mr. Cusino, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe he just ratted him out like that. And
I don't think Barry's going to spend the whole final season in jail. I hope not. That would be pretty anticlimactic. That'd be very Seinfeld.
Well, here's what's been interesting if you've been watching the trailers of Barry. Apparently, Stephen Root's character is also in jail with Barry. So
Funches.
Funches and Barry together. That's going to be great. But we need to know the story of NoHo Hank. I mean, what is he doing right now? Is he going to be living the tripping the light fantastic or something? Or is he going to deal with Bolivians again? I don't have the strength to kill people, Barry. Can you help me out with this? I can try and break you out.
Speaking of killing people,
Oh,
on Showtime on Sunday, this is a sequel series to the 2018 Paramount Network series Waco. This is Waco: The Aftermath on Showtime, starring Michael Shannon and John Leguizamo, who is everywhere right now.
yeah, he
And
is.
so basically, this is, as the title suggests, this deals with the domestic unrest that followed Waco. And if you want to see, if you've never watched any documentaries about the 1993 Branch Davidian ATF FBI standoff in Waco, Texas, I'd recommend this new docu series. It's only 3 episodes long, called Waco: American Apocalypse on Netflix.
Hmm.
It's it's a lot.
Well,
It's super sensationalized, but
yeah.
pretty good watch.
Now here's the thing, because there seems to be this push lately for historic or semi-historic events from the 90s. We had Woodstock 99
Yep,
with all the different facets. Now we got Waco because, the government was trampling on our freedoms.
yep,
Um,
yeah.
what?
Waco and Woodstock '99, I'd say, are pretty close to the same event.
Yeah. Um, I'm just trying to figure out, are we trying to mine some stuff from the 90s that,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
okay. So I
We're
guess it's a
totally we're
thing now.
we're totally doing that. And that's it for the new stuff this week. And if you have not seen, if you're not started this series on Netflix, Beef with Ali Wong and Stephen Yuen, man, it's pretty intense.
I was gonna say, just because I know what fire Ali Wong brings to the table, but you know, Steve Ewan, you wouldn't expect it just because, well, he hasn't had the best of luck surviving any movie or TV show. I mean, he loses his mind at one point in The Walking Dead. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
I uh, Does he really bring? Is he
he's
equal
bringing
to
it.
the task?
He's bringing it. Yeah, I definitely
Okay.
recommend it. Yeah.
In that case, I will say kudos, and I will watch this a little harder then. So
And also the new season of Yellow Jackets. Holy shit.
yeah,
Wow.
just just when you think things couldn't get weirder, when you add in Elijah Wood into the mix, and he's the sanest one out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Fuck. But you
I
have to
wish
admit,
I wish he could have brought Wilfred with him.
oh, that would have been no, that would have gotten too meta at that
A little
point.
too much. Yeah.
Unless he maybe talks to Wilfred when Christina Ricci isn't looking around. I mean, could be a
Yeah.
dark passenger.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I like the
Um,
sound of that.
I think we can work it in. I mean, if we've got one of the characters sleepwalking and then the other one pulling a gun on on some
Hmm.
carjackers. Oh, spoiler alert, everyone.
Oh.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
Oh, I have.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh yeah.
Just wanted to make certain. But for
I'm
everybody
all
else, yeah.
I'm all cut up on my Yellow Jackets and my Succession, and it's like if Santa Claus was a hitman. It's weird.
Oh boy, it's I think I need to really watch harder and binge all through Succession because it ain't gonna last long.
It's almost over.
Yeah.
You can do it. I believe you can do it.
Well, I will definitely try my best here but it's been so hard because there's too many shows.
True,
Why
yeah.
are there too many shows?
And I think it's about that time. Are you ready?
You mean to curb everybody's enthusiasm? Aren't I
Yes.
always?
Yeah, we gotta tamp down this firestorm of a podcast.
Yeah. Well, we can't have the listener bags be churning all this praise, so let's hit that music.
And sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team.
From the sports desk of a TV10 podcast, we deliver to you only the sport of professional wrestling. Let's talk some fallout of late, starting with WWE. Now, when you last listened to this fine podcast, we were allegedly trying to cover live on air night two of WrestleMania 39.
Yeah.
And I say allegedly because it was a 2 hour pre show, to which I would say to WWE, the fuck. There's only so much Booker T. Shucky Ducky I can live through in a given moment here. That being said, overall, night two was just as exciting as night one of uh, WrestleMania. But in the main event between the WWE Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns and versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes,
Hmm.
um, and you've heard it, we've all heard it. Uh, Roman Reigns won in a tainted fashion
Ew.
after his, uh, not that tainted, but with his cousin Solo Sikoa interfering and allowing Reigns to get the pin, to which everyone that I have talked to and then some have pretty much declared this the turd in the punch bowl effect. You're laughing, but at the same time, you had all this wonderfulness of night two. Everything was going great from the cage match between Edge and Finn Balor. At one point, Finn Balor midway through had cut open because a ladder got thrown at him, and he got staples from the trainers at ringside just so he could complete the match. Then you
Ow.
had I'm not joking, man. It's on Twitter. Finn Balor showed it. It was like a 7-inch gash at the top of his head, and of course he put it on Instagram. Small cut, no big. Um, yeah, everything was
Well,
great.
it was a WrestleMania full of taints and gashes.
Phrasing, boom. And speaking of which, the important thing is Seth Rollins beat Logan Paul. Uh,
Yay.
Yeah, so all was right there. But again, and this is how I phrase this every single time. Yeah, you can have a great couple of nights. I could fix the greatest cocktail in the world, and I have. But if I decide to use a turd as a garnish, doesn't matter how much I've mixed it up, it is still
Yeah.
a turd in that drink. You wouldn't drink that, would you?
Oh man, I really don't like that analogy.
I know. That is the entire point. But apparently, this was always in the works. So now Cody Rhodes is chasing the title. Who knows? Which leads to the second biggest announcement. We kind of talked about it, but it bears repeating. WWE and is now paired up and merged with Endeavor, the parent company of Ultimate Fighting Championships, UFC. So yes, and that is the same group that has Dana White, the head of UFC, because Vince McMahon and Dana White they get along so well together. I mean, Vince McMahon allegedly pays off his employees that he slept with, and Dana White slaps his wife around. I mean, it's a mesh. So, and if you think I'm wrong, folks, well, Google it. But in that's pretty much all the announcements at this point. What that's going to mean down the road will be interesting to see because, as Mr. Frost and I both know, when it comes to any mergers or any bullshit with the Jorbs, if there's a merger, expect that there's going to be some downsizing of talent and some future endeavoring. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that when it comes up. Which
Oh, we just
brings
got bought by Gimlet.
we got bought by Gimlet. Okay. What's our golden parachute?
Oh, it's more like an anchor, but
Ah,
somehow we owe them money. I'm not sure how this is going to work.
joke's on them. We don't owe them fuck all. So, hey, we just pulled a Disney on their Ron DeSantis bullshit. So, oh, and while we're on the subject of litigations,
Yeah,
this is in the news and rumors section of SlamWrestling.net. Did you know I write for Slam Wrestling and I have an MBA?
drinking up.
Of course you are. This is the interesting part. A handful of U.S. lawmakers are calling on the Department of Justice to review the merger of Warner Brothers and Discovery that took place last year. They are concerned that the combined WBD conglomerate has the potential to result in job losses and introduce anti-competitive practices. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery owns TBS and TNT. They're both the networks that carry AEW programming.
Yep.
Recently, Warner Brothers, and we've talked about this before, they have canceled a number of shows and other high profile projects, while cheaper to make unscripted fare like the new AEW All Access show has been introduced. You know, so that could present some troublesome mergers down the road, as well as
The whole Warner Brothers Discovery thing is such a clusterfuck. It makes no sense whatsoever, especially
Mhm.
this plan to merge HBO Max and Discovery Plus into one thing that will satisfy no one.
Yes, and speaking of unsatisfactory things, there was also in the wake of Endeavor's announced merger, there's also calls to kind of review how well this is going to work. There's possible lawsuits that are coming up, so that's going to be very interesting to see as well in the next few weeks here. So let's now turn to something very interesting here. John Cena, Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love this here.
Okay.
He will not only star in but produce a new WWE series for Roku.
Huh.
So yeah,
Okay.
tell me what this sounds like here. Quote:
Okay.
WWE Recruits is an 8 episode series that will follow a group of recruits competing to earn one of the most sought after titles in all of entertainment, WWE Superstar. The series will delve into the grueling training, personal triumphs, and life changing moments of talented young men and women making their professional wrestling dreams a reality. Thousands of pro wrestling hopefuls will be narrowed down to an elite group of candidates going for the opportunity of a lifetime. Unquote.
Haven't
Now,
we seen this show before?
yeah. I don't. I wish I could remember the name, but my brain is not tough enough these days. I just can't remember. But oh well. Maybe it'll come to me at a later moment here. And but I almost forgot here because we are the sports authority,
Oh yeah.
and institutions like very important sports won't touch this.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to give to you your XFL scores here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
we are. Can you believe we're in week 8 now of
Nope.
the XFL? I know. It's so hard to believe here. So, as we are talking right now on Saturday, April 8th, it was St. Louis 21-17 over the Vegas Vipers, which was in overtime, by the way. So, it was a shootout. And then the other matchup here, oh man, there's not enough to say about the Renegades going over Orlando 18-16, and then it was the Houston Roughnecks, and they took it in another overtime win, 17-15 over the San Antonio Brahmins. Excuse me one second here. I
Yes.
know. I'm building the suspense here because
Mm-hmm.
as we're talking live on air,
Yep.
we're in the second quarter right now, and it is the Seattle Sea Dragons, and they are going up against DC Defenders. The Defenders are up 8-0. I'm telling you right now on ESPN Plus, also on ESPN2, it is proving to be just an amazing matchup here. I mean, what can the NFL do to top this action?
Excitement is in the air.
Oh, so much excitement here, but I mean, good luck USFL trying to compare with that. You will not be able to. get close to that. And let's see. I think, finally this, and this is where I'm going to end it here, because lost in all this WrestleMania brouhaha, there was a little thing called the NWA 312 pay per view. Did you happen to catch the pay per view, Mr.
Nope,
Cross?
not at
You
all.
you missed out on the action that was held in Chicago, Illinois.
I wouldn't say I missed out.
I see what you did. Anyway, but no, all kidding aside, I did recap that for SlamWrestling.net. You know, I'm able to write on this stuff. I think
Hmm.
partially because I have an MBA.
Oh
It,
yeah, yes we
as
do.
that gin and tonic is really coming down nice and smooth, isn't it? Here.
Yes, we can.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Brilliant. But and actually, there are going to be two other things I'm going to announce here in a second here. But in the main event between the American Smash Tyrus, the current holder of the 10 pounds of gold, he was able to eke out a win over the masterpiece Chris Adonis. Chris Adonis had him in the master lock, and he got him down to the floor, but then Tyrus moved all the way back and put his weight on Adonis to pin his shoulders for the 1, 2, 3. Other important events that night were we crowned the first NWA Women's Television Champion in Kenzie Page, and it was also another important thing was the NWA National Championship changed as EC3, the essential character, the Overman, because he's over man. He beat the Great Scion to claim his first NWA championship, but also in the Bob Lush Battle Royale, it was the Thrill Billy Silas Mason, who I interviewed for
Oh
SlamWrestling.net.
yeah, how about that?
He now has an opportunity to challenge for the NWA National Championship against EC3. And I'm telling you right now, my man, there's nothing greater than a guy that looks like what would happen if Danny McBride actually worked out, um, paired up with the love of his life, Pollo Del Mar,
Yep.
which I'm telling you right now, everyone in Tennessee would just love to have a little pollo in them.
Oh yeah.
So phrasing. Um, I would definitely say that is something worth watching in the coming weeks in the NWA. But then finally, and yes, really finally, truly, we are going to end it with this AEW. You know, All Elite Wrestling,
Yeah.
they're a thing. Uh, they had a big announcement on Dynamite this last week. So now, not only does Tony Khan run All Elite Wrestling, but he also does. He has Red Badge of Courage Wrestling,
Yes.
which during which he brought back Nigel McGuinness, the matchmaker originally for ROH, and again, this is from SlamWrestling.net. AEW is launching their own British invasion, so AEW All in London will be at Wembley Stadium, and that will take place at the iconic Wembley Stadium on Sunday, August 27th. So this will be AEW's first show outside of North America and the first time that professional wrestling has taken center stage at Wembley in more than 30 years. The last time was, I want to say SummerSlam
Hmm.
back in those days, and that was when the British Bulldog faced off against Bret Hart. So,
So
that is,
they like the wrestling over there.
they love the wrestling over there. And in
Okay.
fact, yeah, even Tony Khan says, quote, the UK is one of the most important markets in professional wrestling, and AEW is coming in hot as a number one wrestling company in the UK on television. So, and that's
Hmm.
going to mark not only 100 years of Warner Brothers and 100 years of Wembley Stadium. It's a fitting time to come together for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. So, what we're trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that AEW is trying to go all out by going all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Okay.
And so WWE, I wish them the best with with their endeavor, future or otherwise. Why? Because it's sports.
It's sports at Tommy Milagro. Go team. Okay.
Yeah. So
So much
much action.
sporting. All right. Yeah. And now it's time for a word from Juicy Filaments.
I can't wait.
Hey, printheads. Have you ever noticed that people talk about Alexander Graham Bell being a genius for inventing the phone, but nobody ever talks about the people who make really, really, really good phone calls? That's why Juicy Filaments thinks 3D printing is so cool. People are making really cool stuff on 3D printers, and we know their names, and nobody even knows who invented the 3D printer. Well, actually, I do. His name is Sal. Sal worked at the Safeway bakery by my house. His early version of the 3D printer was an automatic cake frosting machine he called the hands-free electric frosting cake decorating machine. I told him it was a stupid name and he should call it the Frostinator. He kicked me out of the bakery. Sal was kind of a jerk. As the years went by, he improved his poorly named contraption, but it never really became more than a parlor trick. One day, while squeezing baguettes, I mentioned to Sal that his machine would be cooler if it could squirt out metal or plastic. Maybe he could even blast mercury in cool shapes and hold it all in place by chilling the print bed with liquid nitrogen. Sal laughed and said, yeah, but it would cost way too much to keep cold. I had planted the seed that day. Sal had a twinkle in his eye. He moved on from frosting and made a machine that could print load-bearing pasta walls, and the rest is history. I guess you could say Juicy Filaments helped push 3D printing into existence. Now, Sal owns several islands in the Bahamas and doesn't even know the names of any of you cool printheads. He just rolls around on piles of gold coin, content as a dragon. So keep printing cool stuff, printheads, and let's never mention his name again. And keep watching JuicyFilaments.com for the announcement of our latest 3D printer invention, a 3D cake decorating machine we lovingly call Too Frosting, Too Furious. Oh man, quite the tale there. Quite the yeah.
I
laughed, I cried.
I was moved to tears. Maybe it's just because of this cheap wine I'm drinking. Who knows?
Possibly, yeah. But yeah, very important words there. And did you catch are you keeping up on your Mandalorian?
Yes, I am. And can I
So
just say,
you know the let's see, Star Trek fans are called Trekkers or Trekkies. What are the Star Wars fans called? Worries?
let's see. Star Wars fans are called. I think the appropriate word is nerds.
Yeah. Okay.
And
All right. Well, they're all up in arms, little tiny
again,
T-Rex arms about all of the guest stars that appeared on their most recent episode of The Mandalorian, including Lizzo, Jack Black, and Christopher Lloyd.
what the fuck is wrong with all of you? What the fuck?
George
What was
Lucas
your
is rolling over in his grave.
okay, is it really Star Wars Twitter that's up in arms over this, or is
Yes.
it? Are you sure it's not a bot? I mean, this kind of feels bot-ish.
Where we're just ruining Star Wars with all these, let's just like obligatory guest stars now that we're on Disney Plus and we got money to burn.
Obligatory? Is
I
that
don't
what
know.
they're really saying?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I honestly thought it was great. I mean, okay, if it was like, say, the Tennessee Three guest starring on Star Wars, okay, maybe you have an argument. Also, you're a
Uh-huh.
dick. Let's get
Yeah.
that out of the way. But how can you not love Christopher Lloyd and Lizzo and Jack Black
Mm-hmm.
all in one city?
Yeah. Well, I think we need to do some equal time here and let Chris Rock drop by.
Ooh, or
Chris Rock
well,
and Kid Rock.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ready for that. I mean, I was still trying to figure out Ahmed Best coming back as a Jedi from last week. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is how you make good on Jar Jar Binks. I see you. I
Yeah.
see you, Dave Filoni. This is what happens when you don't have George Lucas running everything. See
Yeah.
how good things are?"
Yep.
And I'm mostly saying this for Star Wars Twitter to, in the immortal words of William Shatner, get a life, won't you, people? So
Yeah, so that's and this just happened.
What? What do we got?
Man, Fox canceled The Resident after 6 seasons. This is
Oh,
where you say, "What the fuck is The Resident?"
well, two things. Breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. The Resident has been canceled on Fox. This is coming to you straight from the ticker tape.
Yeah,
Now I'll follow up with what the fuck is The Resident?
it's a medical drama
Oh. Oh, okay. Then I don't care.
that apparently somebody watched, but it's over now. So sorry.
So, were you following it? I
Nope,
wasn't. Okay.
nope, was
I'm not
not
going
at
to lose
all.
sleep over it. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to go make do with any of the other medical dramas that are out there. Which one are we on now? That's still remaining.
Well, let's see. We got The Good Doctor. There's one.
Right. Hmm.
We have 2 911s on Fox.
There you go. Technically a
Uh,
medical drama.
and there's that thing, that New Amsterdam thing on NBC. I'm pretty sure. And also there's a Chicago Med on NBC. I'm pretty sure CBS has one in there somewhere that I'm unaware of.
Yeah. If only Hollywood could come up with something original. I mean, I wish they would come up with something original to counter program these medical dramas. How about a cop drama? That
Yeah.
sounds like an original idea there.
Or
Let's
a,
run with it.
or a lawyer drama. Yep.
Yeah. What are of the top three? It's always cop, lawyer, medical drama.
Yeah.
And of course, we've already talked about this. Nobody is making a podcast drama about our lives, even though this would make gold if Hollywood would just listen.
You know, we've totally forgotten about it, but there was a comedy about podcasting. I think it was on ABC, starring Zach Braff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he started his own podcast company. Was that it?
yes, except here's the problem, sir. You said it was a comedy. That's where you lost everybody. So it was. I think first of all, just adding in Zach Braff, alleged comedy. Let's go with that. Yeah, I'm salty here, folks. Why? Because we're not getting that Hollywood money for podcasting. We're not getting Joe Rogan money, even though technically we could be racist. I mean,
Oh, is that the missing link here? Is that what we're missing?
I mean, consider, racism sells on Spotify, and look what he's getting into.
Yep.
We just need to double down on the mega, and I think that's a secret sauce.
Yeah, we're doing none of that.
No, because we have morals and ethics, and we only believe in sponsors that drink. So we're screwed in that aspect.
Yeah. So on that note, since it's Easter Sunday and I got some things and stuff to attend to,
What,
we're gonna
family?
no, God no, no.
Oh shit! I had to explain that to my family just a few minutes ago. Tommy, why are you doing a podcast on Easter? Because I made this arrangement with Mr. Frost. Doesn't Mr. Frost believe in family? Well, eh, how would you explain that to them? Is my question.
Let's see. Yeah. No, don't give a fuck. No. It's just it's Easter, and what would I usually be doing on Easter? Nothing really.
Yeah, yeah. The important thing is we got visited by Jesus Bunny,
Mhm.
and Ham is involved. There you go. End of discussion. We're set.
Ham. I could go for some of that right now.
Actually, I think that's where we're gonna run off here before we say goodbye to the folks. We gotta talk about our fine sponsors. Unless, do you have something we need to plug, or we need to tell people what to watch harder?
I would just tell you to, if you've yet to fall in, these are the big premium shows battling it out right now.
Mhm.
Yellow Jackets and Succession. If you've not started either one of them, I would highly recommend it because they're both fantastic shows.
I would say also for myself, Picard is the best sci-fi out there. Brent Spiner definitely having a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
Worf macking on Riker's wife, Deanna
Yeah.
Troy. That is some ballsy Klingon moves, and Klingons.
Inappropriate.
I, is this still a continuation of the torture?
Yes.
Oh, and yeah, and Brent Spiner is having a lot more fun this time around, and he's not a very android-like presence this time. Uh, you got to watch this a little harder, folks. That's
Yeah.
my takeaway. Oh, and also Superman and Lois, because they aren't going to be around very long. Why? It's on CW. So that's my reasoning right there. Look at
Right.
Stargirl. I
Right.
understand.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's thank all of our sponsors.
While Mr. Frost enjoys his wonderful Madame Patarini gin and tonic in a can from Ogden's own distillery, they also do some other great things like in bottles, like Madame Patarini gin. They also do Five Wives and Five Husbands vodka. Oh, and Kid Rock. Yeah, sometimes the Five Husbands, you can just keep your bullets away here from that. Just settle the fuck down, Ted Nugent 2.0. Also, tell me I'm not the only one that said that. Also, they make some other great things like Porter's Fire, Porter's Peanut Butter Whiskey. They also do the Underground, but more importantly, you should check out the other fine sponsors like Sugar House Distillery, Outlaw Distillery, and of course, you should probably stop by in downtown Salt Lake. Or correction, let me back up here. You should also stop by in Midvale because there's Bohemian Brewery. If you want a good Bavarian beer because you miss the homeland, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, there's also our good friend Ivy at Booze Teak. She has some great glassware there for any of our sponsors. And if you choose not to drink, which is fine, we have to because Utah. They got some non-alcoholic drinks there as well. Perfect for any setting where you don't want to be an embarrassment to your family again. So
Again. Yes.
but most importantly, here, rock up to any of these places because we offer TV Tan Podcast t shirts. Mr. Frost wears them. I wear them. It's only $15. Just reach out to us via email with the subject line T shirt me now. Just put your name, address, your shirt size, and whether you do Venmo or PayPal. Sorry, we will not do crypto no matter what Mr.
No.
Frost says here. Just pay us money. That is how you can share the love with us here. Otherwise, all I could say is if you're not drinking from our fine sponsors, you're doing something wrong with your life. That is, yeah. And we hated Bud Light before they did the rainbow, so take a drink of one of our sponsors, okay?
Who also do rainbows.
Yeah, I know. So what we're saying again, Ted Nugent 2.0, stay away from our liquor.
Yes. All right. And we're going to be off next week because Tommy Milagro will be in transit.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah, it'd be a little difficult. I don't think you can podcast from the plane, can you?
Well, apparently I've been told I can. The problem is it would cause the plane to crash, which I know that is the goal. We want to see me die because ratings.
Yeah,
But
we're not into May yet. We're not into May sweeps yet. So
see, this is an April thing. You don't do fuck all in April. Come
yeah,
on. I mean, wake up, sheeple. This is how ratings work in the podcast world.
yep. So we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
In the meantime, good night, America.
And yes, you jiggle that handle. I need to get the fuck out of California. So thank you for doing that. Now off you fuck.
There's only me and my TV.
with the disciples' pillars now that Jesus is gone?
Hardly, and he's not gone. He's gonna resurrect any minute. Just too bad that you guys won't be able to see it all the way from back here. Must suck to be short and poor.
Wait, what does us being poor have to do with how well we can see?
Oh, I wouldn't know. You should ask a leper. Those run in your family, don't they, Hannah? Your dad, maybe?
What'd you just say?
Now, oh boy.
It's my mom, Mary? And you knew that.
That's right. They favor so much.
I feel like for somebody who's always standing right next to Christ, you don't be listening when he be talking.
At all. Why aren't you nice? Why are you coming for her leper mom?
Not coming for her, just stating that.
What's up with this resurrection anyway, Mary? Okay, because Zechariah prophesied to me that the Messiah is going to ride into Jerusalem on a donkey. Now we out here in the dirt and dust, and the only donkey I see is the ass in front of me.
Oh, be careful with that gossip, Priscilla, because the mouths of the righteous produce wisdom. But a perverse tongue will get cut out.
Oh, Dr. Philistine over here.
How you gonna come at me with verses when I'm the one that drops verses, okay? Everybody knows I ghost wrote half a Song of Solomon. That was me.
You're a very loud ghost.
You know what? Forget the Proverbs. We are going to have a problem if you don't get us closer to the action.
Mary, I would not have expected this from a fellow reformed hoe. Okay, we just trying to able, and you keep caning us.
Bars.